Unbelievable. Look, Lord Gortash died. I get it. Tragic, whatever. I understand the mouth needs some space to cover it. But to cut the puzzle section, the best bit of any broadsheet? Madness, I tell you.
Welcome back to Tran wins Baldur's Gate 3. Today we are going to embark on the journey to look for Minsc, Jaheira's old friend from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And I played 1. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I've beaten 1. I played 2 and got bored of it. I think I just got stuck inside the city and I was bogged down by all the things that were there to do in the city. So I just probably quit. Not that it was necessarily bad or anything, it just was too much at once, if I remember correctly. That is just a child crying over the death of their parents. I mean, that's a legitimate reason. Sorry. What I mean to say by that is, you can't do anything with that quest, or that event. That's just background stuff, as far as I know. If you try to search the parents' bodies, the people will be mad at you. We'll make a save here with Jaheira well in the back so that she doesn't interfere.
Why don't we be looking out for us?
Shouldn't go wandering in dark alleys. Very dangerous hobby. Gets people killed.
On the half-orc's finger, you notice an unusual ring, heavy and with a strange symbol carved on its surface.
Walk away, Nothrakash, while you still have legs.
I just want a quick look around. Where's the harm?
Harm can be anywhere you like. Nose, kneecaps, fingernails.
I came by earlier and lost something. I just want to retrieve it.
Something valuable? Then you must get it back. Come in. Take a look around.
Oh, what a nice guy.
What a delightfully secluded alley. I would have been in my element here once.
But you consort with a better class of people now, right?
A different class of person.
Never get bored.
And a different type of consorting.
Oh no, I love
Let's
it.
just stop this
fills me
conversation
with
right here, shall we?
Nah, it's great getting paid to do nothing but scratch my
Oh, well, we didn't find anything interesting. Let's go and leave.
Not my dream.
I said you could come in. Didn't say you could leave. Boss doesn't like outsiders sniffing around.
And then battle. Alright, let's go ahead and load and talk our way past them.
Gets people killed.
Oh, but surely we're safe with one of Nine Fingers' big strapping boys to protect us. That's her sigil on your ring, is it not?
Eyes to yourself, elf.
You don't recognize me. I'm Nine Fingers' right hand. She needs me immediately.
Of course. She didn't tell me you were coming. Always don't let anyone through, Tusgront. Never here's a list of special guests. Confusing. Come, I'll take you to the Guildhall. Nine Fingers is inside.
There are a ton of notes in this room over here. I will pause briefly. We'll say about 3 seconds.
In you go. Before I change my mind.
Between each note to give you a chance to read it if you want to. If I were to sit here and read it, the video itself will be about 3 hours. First off, in this mailbox, a guy named Glitterbeard has 6 soldiers and makes sure that they are protected and doing their job. I sent you a key and put it in the safe deposit box. That key is over here. We'll also talk to this guy for a second.
Oi, mess with us, and it'll be the last thing I do. I mean, you do. Shit!
Here's one.
Here we find Counting House Safe number 8 key and a night shift report. I'll let you pause if you want to read that.
Cleric, any day. Last time I emptied the druid's pockets, all I got for it was a nest.
On my way.
Back behind here, we can see a pile of ashes, a campfire, some burned bodies. This Caldwell is one of the named corpses.
Always offering it up to
I'd
their
expect a
bloody
flaming
gods.
fist or four to be stationed nearby.
You're both wrong. You pick the pocket of whatever mark you're asking. Common sense.
They
that.
stick to sunnier streets. Heavens forbid they disrupt any of that guild business they're so well paid to ignore,
The fists aren't what they used to be.
I grieve to tell you, Will. They never were.
The banter suggests that Will doesn't know the area because he expects 4 Flaming Fist guards to be stationed out here at the Thieves Guild. Okay. Keep that in mind for Will's next banter inside the place. Miss Caldwell, that's one of the corpses. Mystic Carrion, we'll be running into that guy later. He's basically saying, hey, use Secreta Moratorium and I will help you make a conversation with a corpse or spirit.
With a beautiful lass from the plains.
We have another wannabe
God, sees
Volo
that
over
again.
there. Okay, that's not even all the notes. That's not even a third of the notes. There are so many in here. Let me just sweep them up.
Into my pocket.
Cleric's letter. Unfortunately, the only pickupable location, Astarion had to walk on top of these crates, fall down on that between that hole right there, and then you can walk on this end. The game is full of instances like that. We'll see it when we go downstairs to a table. So yeah, there's tons of notes and not really any treasure. Pick this. A guild ring. I don't know what you do with this. I've tried sneaking in and having the guild ring worn on me when I talk to what's-his-face, Tusgront or whatever, the orc. It does not provide any new dialogue options. Alright, see this table full of letters? So as I pick them up, I will be running back and forth trying to find the spot nearest it on the table. It's the pickup game of Baldur's Gate needs work. Look, it can be a great game, but it can be funky. People have understood that with the whole Bethesda games for a long time. In case you're new to the channel or you haven't heard me say it, I haven't actually played very many Bethesda games. I played, I think, Fallout 3.
Something over there.
And Oblivion. I think that's about it. Take this crate off the plate. Lowering this, which is a trapped chest with an explosive trap on it. Nothing major. I think that's all the treasure. I mean, there's some wine and food in the bottle or in some of the barrels. We'll go and just detonate the chest. It's fine. Another guild ring. Okay, let's sit and take a look at all of the notes. Clerk's letter. Head banker Glitterbeard, that was the guy with the 6 soldiers. He will be loyal to the guild. Sayer Ukdar, that's the guild bursar, which is kind of like a quartermaster or treasury dude. Stone Lord hitting supply depots, wind down enterprises. They've been losing this fight. The guild hall has been losing the fight with the Stone Lord. Tobiah Narth from the Nortel's Hostel writes that they can help smuggle stuff. A request for funds. Patriarch Caldwell's acceptance to meet the guildmaster in person, or the guild, and the corpse, as you saw. A spy for the Harpers. They enjoy the food. Apparently the orc's a good cook. Gerard Densom of Fine Fabrics in cahoots with the guild. Brewer the Nail saying the Bellbreakers squad is gone. Kingpin Rill sucking up to the guildmaster. The dock worker complaining about the fist. Children of Horror missing and the status of several other crews. a friend of the guildmaster's parents in their childhood talking about, hey, your business practices are hurting me. Bursar Ukhtar's assessment of Gortash. A note to the Kingpins about the obelisk Helsik. And knife fights, which the game doesn't let us partake in. As I said, that's a lot of notes, and none of them are that important. Which is why I did want to devote a whole hour to reading them all. With all of that taken care of, let's head in. So the only important thing was that we got a key from here, and even then, that's not that big a deal.
Well, well. The fabled haunt of Nine Fingers Key.
Never visited before. I thought you got around.
I always steered clear. If guild members started disappearing, people would start asking questions. And Cazador hated questions.
Understandable, when the answer is invariably, the silver-haired one ate them.
The Guildhall has one rule. All crime stays in the city streets, where it belongs. Break this rule, and you die.
On this side of the map, we find some characters that are Zentarum on the left side as you enter. And on the right side, we see guild members. This kid talks way too much.
We're all on the same side, friend. Nine Fingers invited us herself.
The Guildmaster hired you, yes. But I think it's best if your Zentarim keep to themselves. There's not a lot of trust in the Guildhall of late.
You're all scared shitless of this Stone Lord, you mean? Which is exactly why your boss hired us.
I have killed probably way more Zentarum than most people. Because I did play Savage Frontiers or the other TSR Gold Box games where Zentarum were your essential baddie. Whereas many games would have you fight things like kobolds or orcs. There was tons of Zentarum to kill. As humanoid characters, they had good loot.
Wow, look who it is! Glad to see you in the city. Hope you found plenty of coin in Ketherick's coffers. Ready to do some business?
How did you escape Moonrise?
I survived the hells when Elturel fell. Compared to that, slipping out of Moonrise was child's play.
Hold on. She talks a big game there, but I'd like to point out that there were other tieflings in that area that were not so lucky.
Good to see you again. What are you up to this time?
Oh, I've got a few ideas. I'll be running this whole place in no time.
Price. See anything of yours?
Ready to do some business?
We can also open up trade with her, but she doesn't have anything new. She has her lance board, which I was eyeing a long time ago, and the Idol of Sylvanas, which even if after I buy it from her, if I drop it and pick it up, everyone becomes hostile to me. It's stupid.
Is this a guild business you're running here?
Sure is. We work for Fetcher, handling what you might call pre-owned goods. Talk to Sticky. He'll cut you a deal.
So she's essentially become the assistant to a shopkeeper that is pointless. It's good to know that she went that far.
Fetcher isn't himself, so I'm running the shop. You buying or selling?
And where do you get the items you sell?
Let's just say the previous owners no longer have a use for them. Got me? Fetcher isn't himself, so I'm running the shop. You buying or selling?
Maybe a bit of both. Show me what you got.
Only thing of note that he has is the Shade Slayer Cloak. While hiding, the number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. Well, that is absolutely going to the Styrian.
Sometimes stuff we sell comes back around to us again. So watch yourself. Got me?
Trying to sound all tough there, but realistically, if the game will let me kill you, I mean, no, who's gonna go and threaten the player character? Alright, Derivation Cloak is what he's currently got, nothing major. We'll just slap this on someone else. I think maybe Howson's not wearing a cloak. He will now wear the Shade Slayer Cloak. As a champion, his critical hit is 19 or higher. And then he's got the cowl, 18 or higher. Got the cloak, 17 or higher. This dagger, 16 or higher. This Knife of the Undermountain King, 15 or higher. So if he rolls a 15 or higher, he will crit. That means he should crit 25% of the time. As an assassin, he'll always crit if he attacks an enemy that he moves before in initiative if they've never moved. Or this guy I like.
Anything you like? Let's talk price. See anything of
Your eyes are going to want to wander all over this gold. It's only natural. Just make sure it stops at your eyes, aye?
Hey, I recognize that song. My wife recognized this song as it was playing in the background, knowing it was my music video.
I'm sorry, sweetie pie. I don't do requests. But toss me a few coppers, and I'll shoot you a saucy wink across the bar.
Nice gig you've got here. Color me envious.
It isn't half bad, is it? And this lot, very generous tippers. I'm sure you understand there's only room for one bard here. But I'll let you know if I need a day off.
Jaheira has some choice words for this guy over here, Grave Digger Kerrison. Just gotta make sure she's close enough for this.
Do you hear the Harpers were half wiped out? We should be sticking the last of their bleeding hearts instead of guarding this place.
The mood I am in, boy. I urge you to try.
Eh? No disrespect meant, Mom.
I would say that the guild is probably chaotic evil, in that they are running amok.
Two sides, each itching to draw blades against the other.
Let's talk price.
The sensation is contagious. Which should we oppose? Either or both, so long as I get to spill blood.
Well, they do try to organize, but maybe neutral evil then. They aren't very organized, because they believe in lawlessness and crime, whereas the Zhentarim are more of, they're mercenaries, but if the Flaming Fist want to be good and fail at it, the Zhentarim want to be evil and probably just serve as cannon fodder in most games, I would assume. This dude has another broken face structure.
Before you ask, I ain't got none of that plum Prosecco. Now, what can I get you, newcomer?
What do you have then?
Beverages of distinction, or in some cases, extinction, if you ain't careful. How you feeling today? Lucky?
Luck isn't needed. No drink could take me down.
The last stain I had to clean up off the floor said the same. But go for it.
We can get the Drunken Cloth. While drunk, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws, and you gain temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier at the start of your turn. I have tried coming up with a drunk build. I was going to give that to Will, but so far I haven't really made it to kick off yet. And then just a bunch of liquors that we can add. Most barkeeps don't actually have that much liquor. These three doors all lead to the same area, though this door is illegal to touch. And this door right here leads to the sewers. Before I get too involved in anything, let's just go ahead and nosy about the room. Behind this bookcase also leads to the sewers. That's the barkeep you hear humming, the Down by the River song. Over here we'll find a key, because this chest right here, you can't lockpick it. Lockpicking impossible, but this key will work on it. Strangely, this safe is lockpickable. I'm not sure how you use thieves' tools on it. There's a kind of a minor trap in here, but nothing really important. I'll show you how to disarm it. Random loot. Random loot. In the vases and wicker baskets, you'll find the usual rotten stuff. Come on. As a result of opening this door, this safe has reshut and needs to be lockpicked again, but you don't have to. There is another way. Just press this button, and it'll unlock, but still be closed. Chain lightning, it's good. Probably is random what's inside. And that's it. There's really, I mean, it's not what I would expect to find in the safe room of a thieves guild. But okay, game. To safely jump down here without getting hurt, you have to walk all the way to the bottom of that. Otherwise, if you're standing somewhere up there, you will take about 1 damage. The chain lightning scroll is frankly probably the best loot I got in that safe. And right here is a lever leading to where we found those refugees that were getting shot at by the ballists. Over there. Now, in the future, when we do want to come back to this Guildhall, it will be faster to warp to the sewer waypoint, which is literally outside this door, next to the refugee hallway. However, for the best dialogue, we'll be moving in from the front again.
Moving.
We can read these notes. We'll go and swipe them right now, but we don't want to read them at the moment, specifically this one, I believe. These other scrolls do have, well, I guess we'll go and pick them up, and the reason why we don't read them right now is it will cut us out of some dialogue, because then we already know the answer. We've already read Inroad by Arms.
Shall we?
This is supposed to be a shelf of Moonshay Zenfanda, which you'll find in a couple places, including one back here, 1463. This one's 1461. Can't reach this. Maybe Lae'zel standing in the way.
Enough waiting. I crave blood.
Someone's vintage Moonshay Zinfandel collection. But it looks like a lot of the bottles have gone missing.
Okay, we'll make a save here. Make sure Jaheira's close enough for this conversation. All of those pouches are empty, by the way. It's stupid.
It's an orphanage, Ukta. What would you have me do? Seize their toys as payment?
Well, they failed to pay tribute. We should withdraw our protection, at the very least.
And cede more ground to the Stone Lord? You're not suggesting I yield a single inch of the city, my city, to this cult?
We already look weak. If you're seen to be forgiving debts...
I didn't say forgive. Seize the building. Arm any children old enough. If they protect what's mine, we'll consider that a start on what's owed.
Yes, Guildmaster. Excuse me? This is a private council.
Keep your underpants clean, Ukta. We're playing host to a hero. You owe me a gold piece, grandmother. When I heard you died out in the wilderness, I made an offering at Kellenvor's well.
Of gold? Oh, I did not know I meant so much to you, Guildmaster.
Oh, I'm terribly sentimental. Case in point, I've just let a Harper walk through my Guildhall, noticeably unholed. Because I'm curious about why you're here and who it is you've brought with you.
Just exploring the local sewer life.
Thinking about moving in? I have some lovely lightless cells I could show you.
We won't tax your hospitality too long, Nine Fingers. I'm searching for Minsc of Rashemen.
A big name, that. Such information does not come cheap, High Harper. Not in normal times. Of course, Seeing as these are not normal times and we're all such good friends, I'll do better than tell you where he is. I'm bringing him here as we speak. Or parts of him, at least. I gave no orders about the condition of his corpse.
What treachery is this, Nine Fingers? Have you thrown in with the Absolute too?
Against my own city. Careful. You're in very real danger of hurting my feelings. It's Minsc who's found his faith with Faerun's newest god, and a new name with it. The Stone Lord.
Lies.
Makes sense, Jaheira. We know the cult can be persuasive.
Minsc was never one to need much persuading. Not when it came to spilling my people's blood. In his short reign, the Stone Lord and his crew have earned a reputation. Pure brutality. No survivors. And where he mows my people down, this ripe little cult takes root. But not for much longer. We have word on where he plans to hit next. And he'll find us ready to hit back this time.
Nine Fingers. Estelle. Call off your ambush, tell us where he is, and we'll handle this.
We? I heard what happened to your Harpers, Jaheira. I'm sorry, but this fight's too big for you alone.
You really think that will stop her?
If you're half the friend you're posing as, you'll tell her that her part in this is done. The Stone Lord's fate is sealed. We have a bigger war to fight. I'd rather turn our talk to that, but if you need a moment, Jaheira, well, you've earned that much. My Guildhall is open to you. Have a drink, Jaheira. Have a rest. Just leave well enough alone. It would be a shame for the city to lose 2 of its heroes in one day.
He talks a big game, but I guarantee you, Jaheira and Tran are capable of completely killing everybody here.
Keep the Harper out of trouble. Just because I don't want to kill her, doesn't mean I won't. Beyond that, be welcome. Be merry. Is there something you require of a humble guildmaster?
We're not done discussing Minsc. Call off your ambush.
No begging? Not even a snotty little please? It's almost like you don't know who you're talking to. The order's been given. It's done. So I hope you know another tune, because I am getting bored of this one.
Why would I need the guild? I've done plenty well enough without you so far.
You have. But don't be so quick to bat away a helping hand. You'll find few enough of them in this city. The Flaming Fist can be bought. The Harpers are scattered, and the Parliament of Peers, well, they're just generally too inbred to be useful. The Absolute's at our gate, and the Guild are the only ones truly standing against it.
Funny, I don't see you holding back the Absolute's army. What could I do to help you out?
Keep me from having to kill the Harper. Which means keeping out of the Guild's way, all right? Wonderful.
I ran into some of your thugs, the Rivington Rats.
Oh, did you enjoy the encounter?
I don't think they enjoyed it.
I have no doubt you gave them a good talking to. The rats usually keep a lid on their nastier notions, but with the Stone Lord business distracting me, some are starting to test the leash. All the more reason to be rid of the cult quickly, so I can remind my crews it's not a leash round their necks if they cross me. It's a noose.
I need information.
Knowing what I know usually comes at a cost. But let's say we'll put it on your tab.
Okay, hold on. I just saw that she moved from the noose animation to regular posture. So if they can do that, why do they keep cutting to my character every time? I assume that they did that so that they can reset the model of the person you're talking to some sort of default status so they can go through the animation or motion capture or whatever. If they can just do that, stop cutting to the player character. We don't need to see this. I'd rather stare at the person you're talking to the entire time. But that's just me.
How is it you know so much about the cult of the Absolute and its leaders?
Simple enough. After Jaheira warned me and then disappeared, I went nosing into the cult for myself. I could bore you with the details. How I found evidence of Gortash's projects, traced him to Orin the Red, and made a safe bet there was some dried-out old necromancer to round out the three. Because it's always the dead, bloody three. Has been half-gods who can't help but make their irrelevance everyone else's problem.
Talk about something else.
We can tell her that it's more than just the dead three and then admit our mind flayer tadpole stuff, and she is surprisingly okay with it. Because she says, well, I thought about killing you, but so far you seem alright. Don't cross me though. We'd rather not lay our cards out.
How's your fight against the Absolute going?
Which part? The Stone Lords hollowed this place out. Half my crews are fled or in hiding. When the Absolute's army arrives to wage war on the city, our best hope is to make sure they have no leaders in here willing to open the gates for them.
You and Jaheira are an odd pairing. How do you know one another?
We've crossed paths over the years. Two hands trying to steer the city. Just not always in the same direction. Oh, I can't stand Harpers as a rule, but Jaheira's the exception. She's only really half a Harper at most.
You mean that as a compliment? I am sure.
The same way I'm not just the lowly thief, vagabond, and murderer the Watch and peers would paint me as. I happen to be a fine singer, too.
I noticed the mercenaries in your hall. Since when does the guild work with the Zhentarim?
We don't. The Zhentarim work for me. Time was I'd charge the bastards double if I let them into my hall at all, but times change. The guild is many things, but it's not an army. If the Absolute keeps pushing in on our territory, then I need a little weight to push back.
I'd like to know a little bit more about the guild.
Thieves, frauds, and miscreants. If it's just the watch warrants you're reading. The guild isn't any one thing. We're everything. All the parts of the city the watch don't want seen, so they push us to the far side of their law. But it's not the watch that keeps the peace, or gives justice to any Baldurian who asks, whether they can pay for it or not. It's us. If we take a little tribute in return, or tie strings of service to those we help, well, what of it? So long as we're working as one, it all runs quick, quiet, and clean.
That's a very utopian way of saying you're a gang of petty thugs.
Well, if you'd prefer to trust in the Watch, the Council, the Parliament of Peers, by all means. They're the pretty face slapped over the city. But the Guild is the blood, the bone, the gristle, the ugly bits that actually make Baldur's Gate move. We'll be the ones still holding the gate when all those others have fled.
The guards themselves are a little amusing.
Knife. A hot one, I think.
I'm gonna talk to him in a specific order.
A charm, of course. And then you'll do it yourself.
Bare hands.
Don't mind the ladies' court. Just a game we play. Figuring how we'll kill you if you cross 9 fingers.
What, Lady AQ still playing that game? I don't have one ready.
Right. See anything of yours? No, you didn't.
It might seem a bit ramshackle, but this place is a boast-worthy bar.
Very worse than any fucking stone. A bar is only as good as its cellars. Which vintages can we expect to find on their racks?
Here, a bottle is judged more by its ability to crack heads than the quality of its contents.
No, you didn't.
Ah,
that's the main criteria, then I shall reset my expectations accordingly. Water it is.
How would you know, Will? You thought the Flaming Fist has posted guards in the guild. Dude, stop making stuff up. That's whatever. Alright, this is... I told you this kid yells too much.
You are not known to me. For supplies, seek the bugbear. To trade trinkets, the fetcher's brats. I am Uktar, duly elected guild bursar, and I will not have my time wasted.
Oh, is that what Nine Fingers was doing earlier? Wasting guild time with this Stone Lord business?
You might say so. I could not possibly comment.
I sense there is no love lost between the two of you.
I need not love to serve. You have a point you wish to make?
By doing all the dialogue options that we have and not yet reading the note, we get to pick this option. Otherwise, we'd have to pick a persuasion choice. However, before we do that, let me show you how we would get just a little bit more XP. Once we have acquired information about this ambush...
I smell a fight brewing.
Then let it brew. Some radical thinkers claim that peace...
See anything you like? Let's talk price. And miss a good barroom brawl? Not me, sir.
Alright. Sorry, there's just so much chatter over there. So Halson is saying, hey, let the fight brew, and Karlach wants to participate. But if I'm going to tell you right now, if we start beating people up, it doesn't go well. Just same as, say, picking up most loot. Actually, things down here are okay to pick up, but things up at the bar are not. Dude, kid! Anyways, we're going to just have Will initiate conversation with these guys, and then go back to Tran.
The quicker I deal with the Stone Lord, the quicker Nine Finger gets back to business.
I have not come so far by indulging in petty disputes. But I am open to transactions of mutual benefit. I am interested in gaining access to vaults beneath the counting house. I'd pay well for keys to those vaults, provided said vaults are not emptied prematurely, of course. I suspect that what you seek might also be found beneath the counting house. I tell you this only as a matter of mutual interest.
She plans to ambush Minsc at the counting house. But what the hells would he want there?
What you do with that information is a matter for yourself. Now, back to the vault keys. Do we have business to conduct?
I have no keys to sell right now.
Until you do, then.
See anything of yours?
Uktar, Bursar, if we have business, speak. Guild time is too precious to waste.
Uktar, ponder where you know the name from.
Uktar, 11th month of the year, more commonly known as the Rotting, a time in which all things decay and die.
Bursar, is that a fancy word for thieves' accountant?
I do not hand out loans, if that's what you're asking. My business is finance. Specifically, the acquisition of vault keys. The wealthy squirrel their riches away in the city's counting house, where it gathers dust, serving no one. I acquire keys and allow these funds to circulate, like lifeblood in a healthy body. Everyone benefits, particularly those who bring me such keys. So, are you wasting my time, or do you seek to benefit? Have you made an acquisition?
We can give him these, and he will have a little bit of dialogue. We're going to worry about that later. Let's head back over to Will, and we'll just interpret this as Tran speaking, so I don't have to try to make a Will voice. But by initiating dialogue with this, it kicks the I haven't yet done the journal entry dialogue. Otherwise, these guys would just do nothing.
See? Nine Fingers is a master of strategic. She's clever, thought. Won't fight the Stone Lord out in the open, but she's got a spot picked out, see?
I don't care about Stone Lord Tut. Don't care about some ambush. I asked, do you eat my last pickled ooze?
Wait, I want to hear about the Stone Lord. Let him finish.
Huh? Bugger off! I'm talking to my friend about an ooze.
Waste any more of my time, and I will turn you into pickled ooze.
Thanks, Will. There, we'll just do an improved bardic inspiration and an eagle's splendor. You barely passed it.
Don't need for such sauce, my friend. You're lucky I'm a happy drunk. Nah. Oh, there was a Stone Lord, aye. Bastard's going after the accounting house, but he doesn't know that there's just another guild operation, eh? Nine Fingers is gonna catch him with his claws in their coffers. I pity the bastard.
Happy? Now, away with you. We want drink in peace.
Yeah.
If you don't pick the persuasion options, you have to pass the constitution check. Let's take a look at the notes that we acquired. From the desk of Rakath Glitterbeard, head banker. Guildmaster, we are delighted to inform you that we have just taken delivery of a special deposit box, constructed and charmed exactly to your specifications. We eagerly await the arrival of the promised goods into our vault and the fulfillment of your order in highest esteem, Rakath Glitterbeard, Fellowship of Financiers. Shite, cold Glitterbeard, don't bother. When we kill the Stone Lord, I want the whole damn city to know who did it.
So, Nine Fingers and the Stone Lord will face off at the counting house. Should be quite the spectacle.
Lady Durenbald, Gauntlet Edwina, suspicious dockworker named Amphal, Hoots Hooligan at Sharess's Caress, and unidentified group of travelers from Risen Road. The arms dealer Gortash, also along with a known Ballist leader, met yesterday with Helsik for a considerable period. Upon leaving the shop, I overheard Gortash remark, "What did I tell you? If Helsik can get us into the House of Hope, she can get us into Mephistar too." From the guild hall, trying to click over here, but it's not taking any of my clicks, probably because of all these tapestries. I don't know what to really call it. It's not a tapestry, but I don't know, drapery, curtains. We need to head back a little bit towards the main streets or the lower harbor. Back across these dead bodies as our heroes intrepidly ignore them, in fact, walking over the corpses. Fight the camera. If we push into anything, our camera generally flies up over the roof. There's the mind control vendor. Just walk down over here.
Helps me. Good to get it off your chest.
Stupid of them if you ask me. It's much safer this side of the city wall. 30 in that pouch, 40 in that one, 18, no, 17. Wait.
Have you seen what she's doing? Counting gold in front of a beggar. It's like eating bread in front of a starving child.
Give a single coin.
What? Really? That's all you can spare? Joaquin weeps.
What a jerk. Look, if someone gives you something freely and it didn't cost you any effort or resources to obtain it, don't be ungrateful.
5, 6.
I don't suppose
7,
you really have much use for gold,
8.
do you, Astarion?
It's not required, but it is nice to have. It buys any number of ways to keep life interesting.
Go on then. Coyness isn't in your nature. What would you do with unlimited funds?
Let's just say blood tastes better from a gold goblet. And silk bed sheets improve any nighttime activity.
If you kill the beggar, the guards attack you. Again, that's just how they treat any crime. But really think about it. Who's gonna use this bank? The most noble of people. Literally, Ravengard and Gortash and other big names that we'll find out as we pilfer through the bank. And to kick over a beggar or even kill a beggar, I think a nobleman would get away with it.
The beard kept checking this one chest in the vault over and over. Then he dropped the door on me. Mustn't have seen me.
This is the only line that's open, so we'll talk to Head Clerk Meadhoney. If you have Jaheira with you, you also get past some checks.
Just balance the book and move on like always, Meadhoney.
Welcome to the counting house. I'm Head Clerk Meadhoney. How may the Fellowship of Financiers serve you?
You seem a little nervous, Sir Meadhoney. Had some difficult customers today? One in particular calling himself the Stone Lord, perhaps.
The who? The what? All right, fine. The head banker may have just taken a customer by that name down to the vaults. Rather large, rather heavily armed, which is against regulations. But I'm sure the head banker knows what he is doing.
I assure you, he does not. You are right to be nervous. But let us pass, and all will be well.
Who is this Stone Lord to you?
Right. He might do something stupid down there, but we can help.
That would be most unusual. But then so is our visitor.
That he is. But don't worry. We can handle him.
Very well. Show the guards this temporary vault pass, and should my superior ask, keep my name out of it.
Okay, before we deal with the vault pass stuff, let's head on over here.
Tread lightly.
And we're going to sneak into the offices for some more information. Yeah, don't look at the door that people would go through, sure. In the display cases is nothing of consequence, as searching a container makes people turn around, so we wouldn't want to do that.
Stop shifting around.
I'm not. I'm just keeping an eye on Glitterbeard's office.
You're scoping Glitterbeard's office.
Well, why not? Word is he has guild connections. That means guild gold. Nothing he can report stolen.
You need to get wise, young one. Pretty alone doesn't last.
Okay. Let's grab these books. A bank pass if we didn't sweet talk our way to Meadhoney, who is carrying a key to the vaults, but it's an empty vault. Baldur's Mouth Gazette. Alright, this is my first take at this, so I don't know if this will work. When I was practicing, I just used an invisibility potion and ran through.
That's curious.
You're guild too, aren't you?
What makes you say that?
You're always guarding Glitterbeard's door, no matter who's on with you. You're definitely guild. Not that you'd tell me.
No. I'd probably just break your jaw for asking.
The abridged Dwarven history is what we came into this room for. We can also use the hole to circumvent some issues. or some guards, but this is fine. It leads you down to the basement, which is where we went ahead. No, I was trying to right-click to cancel him from walking, because he doesn't want to just jump straight over them. Must have been the wind.
What's your guild name? You know, like 9 fingers, ribbons, through at the nail.
Carol Kill Witness.
That was the whole reason I hung around the hallway. I wanted that last line because it amuses me. Alright, let's go and take a look at these notes. After the Inter Diem. This book chronicles the methods Joaquin used to wrest control of the church. Bank Pass. It's just an object that we hold on to for quest purposes, but it's not orange because it's not rare, but you can find 2 or 3. At first glance, this appears to be a standard log of the counting house accounts. However, a poorly concealed correction reveals that the money has been diverted. This is the important one. A compendium of dwarf history recording the shifting fortunes of clans and kingdoms. One date in particular, 1356, is circled with a note scribbled beneath. Important, don't forget to change the code in a 10-day. If you do forget the code, they do add it to your journal, meaning you can just open J or whatever your key is for that. We're going to go ahead and steal these books because it makes it easier for me to explain what's going on. And to do that, we actually should get the rest of our party to go hide somewhere, since they'll accuse your whole party of stealing, even if it's not that particular character. We'll just step Tran out over here.
I'm sorry to ask.
Let's go take a peek in this mailbox.
My family's starving.
What do you think happens to the Albrights anyway?
3.
Appointment request. But you wish to pause if you'd like to. Invoice. A reminder, our repairs on the vault level encompassed the mechanical systems only. We have drained seawater and resealed the walls. Reminder to cash guard on duty. Head banker Glitterbeard is expecting a shipment.
How delicious.
Maybe I will. He said maybe.
All right, calm down.
Now, somehow these guys will know immediately when you've stolen this stuff. Even though it's completely obscured. I guess it's not a darkness cloud, so.
How did you end up in the counting house cashier?
Why? What do you mean?
You have the natural elegance of a dancer.
Oh, please.
Just trying to figure out a nice spot that won't get me caught. Or maybe we just have to wait for them to stop looking. Yeah, they're still looking around, so we'll wait for them to stop.
What makes you say that? What's wrong with you now?
Shoulder. Glitterbeard kept checking this one chest in the vault over and over. Then he dropped the door on me.
Okay, it looks like he's heading back, so we'll go and fog again.
Or maybe
The reason why I don't just use the potion of invisibility is when you take anything from outside in the game world, your potion of invisibility immediately wears off, so you get caught.
Whining or something.
maybe if you're quiet.
Alright, we're going to spend a little bit of time reading that in the safety over here, and I'll explain more about it as we head downstairs. Counting book 3. Here we have 6 named vaults. It's essentially a hit list for you to go pilfer. Highbury we had rescued, but I believe 4 and 5 are swapped. There are grand vaults and deep vaults. Deep vaults are the super ones that the Bursar ones. Grand vaults is what we just looked at. And all of these are called vault keys, which makes it more confusing. Counting book 2, we have safes 1 through 8. This part only has 5 through 8. It is essentially another hit list. Vault past ledger. Since Jareth is entering for a ring, we'll see another note downstairs about that. And then here's the first 4 safes. Safe 4 is empty, and that's the one that the clerk has. Okay. Let's pop. Asterion, I'm not sure where. I don't quite remember where you were in that. I'll reorganize in a second. Let's go and talk to these guards.
Say wealth offers a form of magic.
A moon?
Yes.
Mate,
It's one I've rarely dabbled in.
Nor I. Never had more than a few coppers in the city, and any soul coins in Avernus went straight to Zariel.
Make no mistake. Souls are sold for coins up here as well. All too cheaply in most cases.
Yeah, our characters are mega wealthy, and in fact, we could afford to buy a stronghold. Something like a throne room would cost, we'll say, 80,000, 100,000. I'll include a link, a PDF to this. It talks about so many clever applications of everyday spells, which is the way I would expect to see it in the game world. And maybe that's what you get when you play tabletop. For example, it lists that you can combine some traps together, such as putting explosive runes on top of a sack of rocks, essentially. And when the runes blow up doing damage, it drops the rocks on that person also. That's cool.
Account holders only from here. Vault pass?
I hear another group descended just before me.
Aye. Glitterbeard brought some giant down just now. He had eyes as dark as winter's crack and twice as cold. He also had a vault pass.
Here it is.
Right. Descend and know. Upon entering the vaults, you forego the protection of city and church law alike. Which is to say, keep to your own vault and you'll be fine.
Okay, maybe they should just say that. Whatever, game. Come on, open up. Alright, there is a ton of money down here in the form of scattered chests. Mostly locked, and you can pilfer a lot of the keys from the guards, and you also find a lot of keys as you move downstairs. And there is no magic items, though, and as I mentioned earlier, we are just so rich. I'm not really worried about getting that gold on camera. We'll get it off camera, though. Keepings of the vaults. Let's see if there's anything here. Nope, we'll see this book a couple times. Private stash. This is the only thing that I wouldn't worry about looting. Gee, you should probably be below Carlat. I think you were below Gale as well.
During workouts? Are you crazy?
Gale has a lot of armor class because I made him a draconic sorcerer and such. Amulet of Restoration. We already have one of these, but you know what? Having another isn't bad. There you go, Halson. There is a cache that we found on the Fisherman's Docks. Now, it may be random, but because I've already loaded the lower city map, I've essentially generated out the loot, I would assume. It was a 1 unit of thieves' tools. That was what was in it. And I kept getting caught so often trying to do it.
Mate, he was nervous.
We'll be pulling a late one tonight.
What? Why?
Half that crowd up there ain't getting their coin. Some will go quietly out the front door.
And some will go out with a splash on the back door, right?
All day to spend talking to bank clerks.
Carol killed.
Just need to see your vault pass, please.
What can I expect below?
No idea. Our poster's out here. Besides his chosen swords, Head Banker Glitterbeard doesn't like us asking what goes on below. For security, I expect.
Here you are.
Looks in order. Blessed day to you.
You can also threaten your way through,
To spend talking to bank clerks.
which is ridiculous to me as a concept, but okay.
That's what they tell me.
That might be worth a look.
Vault Visitor Log. We'll just glance at it. I'll let you pause if you wish to read it. Meadhoney, Bonprof, Glitterbeard. Sarah Glitterbeard has requested I step out of the vaults to provide the client's privacy. Alright, let me teach you how to loot this place, but also, well, if you don't want to pick it for whatever reason, because I think picking all of them is way easier than going around hunting for the keys. That being said, I don't think it's really all that important you loot it. It is just money down here.
Traps. How considerate.
Alright, there is a sigil right here and a sigil right here that will teleport you back. Even if you try jumping over, it'll still teleport you. What you need to do, and you can however jump like this and it should be effective, but jumping over does not work. There are buttons right here, and right here you just shoot them and that will disable the traps. So let's go and do that. So now it's good, and we can...
Oh dear.
This is one that we've already disarmed.
Someone's left a trap out for us.
Let's go and pick each one. So this is Captain Grizzly's vault, Whitmirth's, Alan, Sunshaw, no, Highbury, Sunshaw, then Omotola. Ooh, look at how much is this? 220, and we'll assume that we can only sell it for half its listed value. It's about 400 gold. Bunch of scrolls, not bad, not bad. Disintegrate skull, pretty cool. Another disintegrate. Ulto's irresistible dance is pretty good as a spell. I gave all of my spare ones to Karlach because I think it's just fitting that she makes people dance. Liquor? Okay, dude. This is Vault 4. This is the one I claim is Highbury's in contrast to what the book says. This is the dude who runs the orphanage. Here's what the book says is Highbury's, but I don't have a key to that. You can see that I could not unlock it. I think if you have the key, instead of when you right-click it and says lockpick, I think it should just say just remove open locked and just put open and then use key or something. Just shortcut a lot of things, I think, is the best way to go. Alright, let me dump some of this stuff here. So we'll dump all this, minus the key, send to camp. Dump all this, minus the key. Oops, I just selected the key. Send to camp. Alright, same issue as before when we see a bunch of loot on the floor. You have to just keep clicking on it to pick them all up. Alright, over here is a little bit more complicated, and I'll show you the easiest way that I have to do this. These are bars that I don't believe you can interact with. You can't smash them down, you can't jump over them or even fly through them, but you could shoot an arrow of teleportation through it, but that would cost you about 50 gold each. I have a different way. Let's go ahead and actually pop all this off, pop that off, and I'll take this ropes of very fast blinking. Now you might remember that we got this a long time ago in the carnival. This is how I go through this area. Bam. Alright, I'm not sure which of these I might have keys to. Let me see if I have keys to any of them. Not that one. Now, the Bursar does not care about any of these areas. When we get to the super vaults,
watch the shadows.
We won't be picking them just because I'm curious what the Bursar will say. So I'll be trying to collect the keys throughout the game and then hand them all to the Bursar, see if there's anything at the end of it. There probably isn't. When I give him a key, he gives me about 300 gold. Now, just something to note is that because we don't have anything equipped, when we pick up some of these things, it might fall into your equipment slots. Well, sometimes. Potions. Oh, I dumped the stuff back at base to tell you which of these is their particular items. Should have kept the book on me. In fact, let me go back and get it. I seem to be missing a book. There's one at the deep vaults that I don't have the book for, or I misplaced it somewhere in my storage. This is Vault 4 with nothing in it, so we'll just drop straight ahead if I can just select it. Thanks, game. Alright, so we've looted 1 through 4, and then 5. So we've looted Bone Cloaks, that was the one with all the potions in it. No surprise there. Martin Elegant, and then 4 was empty. Here we are at Willoughby's. Then we have Anonymous Client, Tefoco, and Eva Morley. Clothes, sure, whatever. Okay, I only had number 8. Then a bunch of ingots on the floor and 560 gold. Each ingot, by the way, is worth, let's see here, 100 gold. So, again, the listed value. When you actually go to sell it, it's going to be different. Alright, let's warp out of here. Did I not loot this chest? Send these to camp, send these to camp, and let's go and get ourselves dressed. Not that sword. Okay, let me run back upstairs real quick and see if we can find that book. Alright, from the stairway leading to the underground vaults, the book I'm looking for is right over here. We're going to fog cloud this since the line of vision that they have does encompass in front of the book. It's just as well because I want to call attention to the book anyways to show you all of the where to get the keys. Even if I don't have them all, it's pretty obvious since these are the big players in Baldur's Gate. Let's head back downstairs.
Step lightly.
Vault 1, Laura Ken. We've seen this dude's name before, and Eridan is currently whining in front of the robot about it. Janath, we've seen this name a few times in various notes. I don't know if that's also the same person that the artist from the Zentarum under Walking's Rest is related to. That may have been a different patron. Sar, that's Asterian's questline. Gray is kind of an unknown name, but this is the Water Queen. Alundra Gray is the head priestess or something. She died by our hand so that we can get more loot. Ravenguard, you find this key at the top of Worm's Rock Fortress in Gortash's safe. Number 6 is Gortash. I believe you find this in the Iron Throne. We looted the entire place from top to bottom. Keen, I don't think we stole it from her, so we'll have to get it later. Devere, you might recognize that name if you played previous Baldur's Gate entries. And Glitterbeard, we are heading to see him right now. That's the head banker. With these notes in hand, we can always refer whenever we want to get to a chest. I'll go and unlock all the chests for you just to see what's inside, but for our current playthrough, we won't be doing that just yet because I want to see if there's any prize at the end if we give all the keys to the Bursar. There's probably not. And speaking of stealing, this is Halsin. This is the head priest of the Druid's Grove. There's no reason why touching the Sylvanas statue at this point should be counted as stealing, even if you consider that he's no longer the head grove keeper of Emerald Grove. The new Grove Keeper has never handled the statue. It was never in their responsibility. So if anything, I could technically try to pass the statue back to Halsin so that at the end of the game he would return with the statue. Not that I think that's a thing. It'd be cool if it was, but I doubt it. Still, it's just the game counts it as stealing if I so much as touch it. It is ridiculous. I have Halsin. Alright, this room, there is the primary way of solving it, which is hit 1, 3, 5, 6. If you step on the wrong button, it lights up red. If you step on the right button, it lights up blue unless you continue. It also has a little ding sound, which you may not have heard because I was talking at the time. Like that. Alright, step back on that to reset everything. You'll find a couple notes throughout the area. No more water is to be used to clean the floor in front of the main vault. We can't afford any more lightning mishaps with wet pressure plates. There'll be no more warnings, only dismissals.
Very well.
Alright, do not approach, blah blah. Warning, wet floor. Unsafe to use devices powered by bottle lightning. We already know the correct solution. Let's try to read this plaque.
For current door codes, please refer to the head banker's office. Highest security clearance only.
And the door codes were obtained from the Dwarven history book. What we're going to do instead is cross-dress. Do we not look amazing in this outfit? By the way, the name Tran, Tran Plays, that's because my last name is Tran. Someone had asked me if this is because it's trans as in a trans person. No. This is a common Vietnamese last name, like Smith is for English name, like John Smith. That's just my last name. That and Nguyen are very, very common last names. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to throw water down on the whole place. And then we're going to go ahead and shocking grasp it. I froze it to get rid of electrified water, and then I burned it so that it wouldn't slip on my way in. So what awaits us down below?